prepared. There are only hours left until a rare magical alignment in the sky. The new moon on May 25th is not just a beginning. It is also a harbinger of great awareness and inner awakening. Because this new moon is taking place in exact conjunction with Jupiter. And this conjunction is no ordinary one. The Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are aligning precisely at 9 degrees of Gemini. Remember, a new moon means the Sun and Moon are aligned at the same degree. But this time, Jupiter is joining that union. Such a powerful alignment can cause many things to grow, expand, and come to light, both collectively and individually. Jupiter magnifies everything, not just the good, but also what has been hidden. So the insights that emerge during this new moon may both surprise and deepen you. At the end of the video, you will learn in detail why this celestial alignment is so important, how it can affect your life, and how to use this energy. If you're ready, let's begin. A new moon means that the Sun and Moon are exactly at the same degree. And this time, on May 25th, this conjunction is not just between the Moon and Sun. Jupiter is also part of this conjunction. Moreover, this trio is coming together at exactly 9 degrees of Gemini. The Sun, Moon, and Jupiter. All three are aligned at the same point, with the same light and the same vibration. This is a very rare and powerful conjunction. But remember, Jupiter amplifies everything. It magnifies the light, and it magnifies the shadow. It magnifies hope, and it magnifies disappointment. It magnifies knowledge, and it magnifies chaos. Therefore, every new moon involving Jupiter offers expansion. But this expansion is not always comfortable, because growth sometimes requires confronting what has been ignored, releasing what has been suppressed, and letting go of structures that no longer serve us. This new moon is not only in Gemini, it also occurs in the Vedic system in the Ardra Nakshatra. Ardra means to wash and to purify. Its symbol is a teardrop. And this tear is not just a drop of pain, but a drop of purification, dissolution, and transformation. This star cluster is ruled by the storm god Rudra. Rudra's energy is not destructive, it is cleansing. It shakes things up, but it rebuilds. It disperses, but it never leaves things empty. That is why the energy of this new moon is not just about the new. First, there must be a cleansing, a void, a dissolution, a letting go. And sometimes this letting go is not easy. Sometimes it comes with news, sometimes with a confrontation, sometimes with an inner break. And when Jupiter is involved, this break is not small, it is big. It is social. It is collective. Gemini is associated with communication, information, and connections. It represents words, information, news, and social relationships. When the new moon occurs here, old thought patterns are broken, new ideas are born, but this time, the communication energy growing with Jupiter also means the revelation of what has been hidden. Therefore, during this period, the media may bring to light truths that have been ignored for a long time. Perhaps some collective traumas that have been suppressed until now will finally come to the forefront, and this can be challenging for many people, because whenever darkness emerges, it initially appears as chaos. Yet that chaos is the beginning of an inner cleansing. This new moon has come not only to tell you to start anew, but also to tell you to first see what is left behind, realize what you don't want to carry with you. And with the symbol of Ardra's teardrop, this realization can be emotional. You may feel sad when letting go of an old burden. When you realize that a period has come to an end, even if that period has been exhausting, saying goodbye to it may not be easy. But Rudra's storm is not destructive, it is liberating. So don't resist the emotions that arise within this energy. Allow yourself to cry, because those tears are a cleansing. With those tears, not only the past, but also the old version of yourself that carried you may be dissolving. This new moon also points to an area where very powerful karmic ties related to communication are being dissolved. The things you couldn't say, couldn't explain, kept silent, and carried inside, they may now want to come out. This will manifest itself both on a personal level in relationships and on a social level in the flow of information. And this information is not just coming from outside. This information will rise from within you. It is information that reminds you of yourself, that gives you back the part of yourself you have forgotten. The information that comes with Jupiter is not just for learning, it is for growing. And real information sometimes destroys first. Whatever you feel during this new moon, an unexplainable inner pressure, an undefined restlessness, or a sudden emotional openness, know that all of these are serving you. Your inner system is currently transforming without you being aware of it. Even if the mind doesn't understand it, the heart recognizes this feeling. This feeling, I am about to become someone else. And yes, you are. This new moon has come to help you grow. But first, it is cleansing you. That's why every emotion, every awareness, every upheaval you experience these days is valuable. As you go through this period, remind yourself of these three things. Whatever I'm feeling has a reason. This too shall pass, but when it does, I will no longer be the same person. And growth sometimes begins with tears. We will discuss in detail the areas of transformation this new moon offers you, its effect on the zodiac signs, and how you can use this energy to your advantage. But first, just stay here, in this feeling, and truly listen to what this new moon is trying to tell you. And now we come to another impressive celestial formation that makes this new moon extraordinary. Because this is not just a new moon. It is also a time when we are at the center of a perfect YOD formation in the sky. In astrology, a YOD is a special angular pattern known as the finger of God. It doesn't occur very often, but when it does, it signals events that can change the course of life and trigger fateful developments. If you're new to astrology, here's what you need to know. The YOD pattern is a highly sensitive energy flow between three planets. When two planets are in a harmonious, sextile angle with each other, the third planet forms a 150-degree angle, quincunx, with both of them at the same time. And it is this third planet that becomes the finger point where all the energy is focused. This Yodi is fully active during the new moon on May 25th. Mars is currently conjunct with Ketu, South Node, in Leo. This conjunction can mean suppressed anger, inner turmoil, karmic disappointments, and aggressive outbursts on a collective level. Leo represents world leaders, ego, and powerful figures who take center stage. Therefore, during this period, we may see important figures being removed from office, scandals, unexpected power losses, or reputational collapses on the world stage. The Mars-Ketu conjunction is fiery, fast, and uncontrolled. Moreover, this energy is not personal. It operates on a collective level. Now pay attention. Pluto is currently located at 9 degrees of Capricorn. The new moon and Jupiter are exactly at 9 degrees of Gemini. Mars is at 10 degrees of Leo. This is close enough. Therefore, the Yodi energy created by this triangle is quite effective and active. The Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are forming a sextile, harmonious aspect with Mars. However, this duo is also forming a quincunx with Pluto at the same time. In this case, Pluto is the apex of this YOD, meaning God's finger is on it. So what does Pluto represent? Pluto is the cycle of death and rebirth. It is concerned with deep transformation, power structures, nuclear energy, atomic systems, underground processes, secret structures, and all realities that remain in the shadows. When it stands here as the apex of the YOD, it tells us nothing can remain hidden anymore. And this cleansing will not be easy. This aspect pattern points to challenging but inevitable changes not only in our personal lives but also in the world order. Those under such energy often face uncontrollable events. On the collective level, sudden downfalls of world leaders, shocking revelations and crises affecting the masses become possible. Especially nuclear, geopolitical, or military issues should be closely monitored during this period. The YOD energy poses the following question. This transformation does not offer you a choice, it engulfs you. How prepared were you? This is why this new moon is not only an internal beginning, but also a harbinger of external upheaval. And when these events unfold, they are not merely things that happened, they are scenarios chosen for your spiritual awakening. There is another striking aspect of this yod. Saturn and Neptune are conjunct at 7 degrees of Pisces at the same time. This signifies the dissolution of reality, the blurring of the flow of time, and the intertwining of the divine and the earthly. Neptune does not always provide clarity, but it opens intuition. Saturn, on the other hand, represents boundaries. The combination of these two can offer you both spiritual tests and deep insights. But beware, when Neptune is active, you may not immediately see what is happening. The truth may be shrouded in mist, but this mist is temporary. Because Jupiter, the moon, and the sun's light will confront you with the truth. And now, all this alignment, these deep angles, this fateful YOD is taking place precisely in the dark womb of the new moon. That is, in an invisible energy, but with a powerful depth of effect. This means that the feeling you sense but cannot yet explain, the feeling stirring within you, is not in vain. During this period, unexpected changes in direction may occur. Plans may be disrupted. Powerful people may fall. Suppressed emotions may erupt. And on an individual level, a spiritual leap may be inevitable. Remember, YODs are not easy, but they always carry a space for spiritual evolution, and this evolution guides you toward an inner truth. Your mind may not be ready for it, but your soul has already set out on the journey. This celestial finger that comes with the energy of the new moon is not calling you to make a choice. It is calling you to surrender to the truth. And now, it is time to talk about how to manage this energy, how to use this alignment in your own life, and how to turn this difficult passage into an opportunity. Because the storm is coming. But remember, the storm is only for cleansing, to purify, to be reborn, to draw closer to the truth. This is no ordinary transition. This is a threshold that divides time in two. Nothing will remain the same after this new moon. You may not notice it immediately, everything may appear the same on the outside, but something will have transformed on the inside, and that transformation will be silent. It won't be visible, but it will be felt deeply. Sometimes these transitions are like an explosion. Sometimes they are like a whisper. Sometimes you lose yourself in the noise of life, but then you suddenly stop. Your inner voice rises. That voice may have been silenced for a long time, but this new moon brings that voice back. The original frequency of your soul. It reminds you of who you are. The cycle we are in is one in which not only external events change, but also our internal compass. Old goals may lose their meaning. Old relationships may begin to unravel. Burdens you no longer wish to carry may become heavier. And all of this is not to weaken you, but to show you who you are no longer. This energy makes everything honest. Masks fall, hearts are laid bare, intentions are revealed. The line between real and fake becomes clear. You must be prepared for this within yourself, because the more sincere you are, the further this energy will carry you. Now a leap point is coming, but that leap requires a pause first, a retreat, silence, inner alignment. Because if you focus only on the outside world, you may miss this passage. This new moon opens from the inside, not the outside. You can only realize that the key is in your hand when you turn inward. These days, your intuition may intensify, your dreams may deepen. Events that seem like coincidences may become more frequent. You may experience interesting synchronicities with people because the universe is speaking. It is sending signs. But to notice these signs, you need to use your intuition, not your mind. You may feel as though time is bending. Events may unfold rapidly, or everything may seem to have come to a standstill. Both are different facets of the same energy. As space is made for the new, the old time breaks apart. The timeline shifts, and this shift is meant to carry you to another version of yourself. Therefore, you should not resist what is happening. When you resist, the pain grows. When you let go, lightness begins. This new moon is testing your ability to let go. Everything you hold on to tightly is coming to the surface to remind you of who you are not. It is time to ask yourself, why am I carrying this burden? Why am I holding on to this pain? Why am I repeating this cycle? This new moon does not give you the answers, but it gives you the strength to stay with the questions. The answer will rise from within you. On a collective level, a greater awakening is beginning. World systems are dissolving, old authorities are shaking, trusted structures are collapsing. But this collapse is not destruction. It is cleansing, and every cleansing brings with it a rebuilding. We are now in this very space, between destruction and birth, between the old and the new. And this void is very valuable, because everything is rewritten here, even destiny. This new moon is telling you to write your own truth, your own intention, your own path. You no longer have to play someone else's script. It's time to be the hero of your own story. But remember, this path is walked alone. Spiritual transitions are silent. They begin in an unnoticed place. One morning, while everything else remains the same, you wake up different. And this difference initiates an irreversible change. You are at the point where that awareness is born. So slow down, listen, observe. Don't suppress the voice rising within you. If you need to step away from the crowd, step away. If silence is calling you, answer it. Because this energy deepens not in the crowd but in solitude. And remember, the darkest moment is just before dawn. The tunnel you are passing through right now is here to rebirth you, to create a new self from you. And this self will be stronger than the old one, more open, more real. By July, the air will change. The energy will flow more freely. Like a tree shedding its leaves, the fresh sprouts will take the place of what you have left behind. But now is the time to bury yourself in the earth, to stay in the darkness, because the first step of growth is invisible. Remember, this too shall pass, but you will never be the same again. And that is a beautiful thing. And yes, it is a beautiful thing. Because this time, the change is not external. It begins from within. It is not visible to the eye. No one knows what is inside you, but you know. You know that things no longer feel the same. The things that once made you happy no longer fill you up. Some people, some places, some thoughts. It's as if they've been torn away from you. And maybe this scares you, but this detachment is not a loss. It is your liberation from things you no longer belong to. The darkness of the new moon comes into play right here. It takes you away from the glare of the outside world and draws you into the silence of the inner world. There, everything slows down, and you finally find yourself alone with yourself. This is an uncomfortable situation for many people, because the only thing you can't escape in silence is yourself. But this is also where the greatest transformation begins, when you start to truly hear your own voice for the first time. Perhaps you are now at the end of a cycle. You may feel like an era is coming to a close. Don't try to deny these endings, because some things really do have to end. They can't be carried on forever. Your soul wants to be lighter now, and that is precisely why this new moon has come. To purify you of the excesses you carry, to reveal your inner essence. When darkness draws you in, you fear at first. Uncertainty envelops you, the future becomes blurred, everything slows down, but this slowness is not a collapse. It is the preparation for rebirth. Nature does the same. The seed waits in the darkness of the soil. It is invisible, but life begins within it, silently, deeply, and at the right time, it reaches the light. This new moon is activating the seed within you. But for this seed to sprout, you need to let go of some things. Sometimes an identity, sometimes an expectation, sometimes a past. Because making room for the new requires first allowing the old to go. And this is not easy. Goodbyes are not easy. But this new moon is telling you, even if it's not easy, it's necessary. During this period, emotional intensity may increase. You may feel like crying for no reason. You may feel a sense of emptiness inside, as if nothing is in its place. But this emptiness is not a loss. It is the space created by the departure of things that no longer define you. And this space is invaluable for rebirth. Sometimes people think they have suddenly lost their way during this period. They don't know what they want. They are unsure of what they feel. But this is a natural part of the darkness. Darkness is not just the absence of light. It is also the space where a new direction is formed. So don't be afraid of uncertainty. Uncertainty is the space where you rebuild your inner compass. The new moon is also a time for setting intentions. But this time, intentions should be made not out of old habits, but out of inner intuition. Instead of thinking about what you want, feel what you are ready for. Instead of waiting for the universe to give you something, ask yourself what you can carry. Because this new moon is not just about wanting, but about being. True intention comes not from thought, but from frequency. Whatever vibration you are in, that is the level you attract. That is why you must first raise your frequency. And this is not done by doing something outwardly, but by turning inward, by sitting quietly, by taking deep breaths, by asking yourself questions, with patience and honesty. For some, this new moon may also have a physical effect. Your sleep pattern may change. You may feel fluctuations in your body temperature, or you may feel tired for no reason. All of this is normal because your energy body is being restructured. And this restructuring sometimes manifests itself on the physical plane as well. During this period, your desire to be alone may increase. You may want to get away from noise. Social crowds may tire you because your soul just wants to be alone right now. Listen to this desire, because the soul always knows the right timing. There may also be breakdowns in relationships. The revelation of true intentions may shake the foundation of some connections. But this is also natural, because this energy only wants to sustain what is harmonious. Everything that is forced, artificial, or lacking will reveal itself in this process. And you can no longer lie to yourself. All you need to do throughout this process is to remain true to your heart. Listen to your intuition, not your fears. Because it is not the mind that will guide you through this transition, it is the heart. And the heart always knows what is right. The new moon is not only giving you a new beginning, but also a stop command. Stop. Look. Feel. What are you carrying? What should you let go of? And what is calling you? The answers to these questions are not outside. They have always been within you. And now they are calling you to hear them. Do not reject this call. Answer it. Because you are at a turning point. And this point is too sacred to turn back from. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.